Hey, welcome back to DIY Willie. Today, as you can see, I've got the Samurai in the driveway. It's got a little problem, and I watched the video with or from Kentucky Fried Fixin', and he had a diesel. It's a military truck, a Chevy truck, and like the old square body trucks, and I guess it would lose prime on the injector pump, and they put a check valve in line in the fuel line to stop. What is that? Do you really need to go that fast on city streets? Anyway, he installed a check valve on the fuel line to the fuel pump, and to stop the fuel from draining back. So my fuel pump, I believe, has a similar problem where it's not holding prime and the fuel drains back and it causes a hard start problem. So this is my injector pump. Here's the line I have. I don't know how far back that check valve should go, so I think I'm going to put it towards the back of the engine back there, and that way I have fuel pressure in the line to help start the engine on those hard start times. Now I drove it to put it here in the driveway. When I shut it off, I clamped it right here just after the fuel pump, or excuse me, the fuel filter. So now I'm going to clamp it again here so I don't lose all that fuel in that line, and I'll cut it right in the middle. I'll only lose that bit of fuel in the middle between the clamps, and hopefully that won't be enough to stop the prime and not make it difficult to start, because I'll still have all this fuel in there. So that's my thought. So let's take a look at that check valve. So here we go. I've got the check valve. There's the part number. I've already opened it to check it out, and this was linked in his video, and I bought the exact same one. Man, that's a bigger fuel. That's a bigger fuel hole than I have. I hope this fits. Has an arrow on it showing you which direction to install it. I like that it unscrews. I don't know why, but I do. And maybe be easy to clean if you have to, or if it gets dirty. There's the check valve part of it, and you know, it's pretty cool. You blow this way, the valve opens, air comes out. Nothing that way. Now I'm not going to set up the cool little liquid demonstration he had with it, but I'll link his video in the description so that you can check it out. Now I'm hoping this little check valve is going to fix my hard start problem I have with this Volkswagen diesel and my Suzuki Samurai. So let's get to installing it. I'm just going to clamp the other side. I don't want the fuel to drain back so much. Hopefully this works. Hopefully that'll pinch it off enough that it'll work. I didn't bring a knife to cut the hose. Alright, so with it pinched off, I'm just going to cut right in the middle. Hopefully I don't create too big of an air bubble. There we go. Got a couple hose clamps. I'll slip them on both sides, and make sure we got our arrow going the right way. Oh no. Okay, it's gonna take a minute. So it didn't fit quite like I wanted it to. This has a 3/8 barb on it, and the lines on the Samurai are 1/4 inch, and it just didn't fit. So I have some 3/8 hose here that we're gonna put together like that. We'll put it on, and this is not the ideal way to do it. I don't want to do it this way, but right now I have no choice because I got to get the Samurai back running again. Excuse Spike. So I've got the hose clamps. Spike? Why? He was being quiet before I started filming. Alright, I know Spike's being loud, but I'm gonna put these clamps on here like this. Hopefully these fit. Wow, they're pretty tight. Okay, so I'm gonna assemble it like this. I've got the hose clamps on. I've got the hose pushed all the way on. This is not the ideal way to do this. This is just making points for leaks. And I've got the other barb. You know what? I'm going to assemble these first. Put a little bit of Teflon tape. I don't know if it'll be needed. Now, this is not what I wanted to do. Like I said, this just makes areas that it could possibly leak. But it does get the 3/8 down to the 1/4 inch I need. Okay, so here we have it. This is our final product. I don't like all these clamps on here. I don't like the extra hose. I don't like the extra areas where, like I said, it could possibly leak. But to get the Samurai running again, this is what I'm going to do. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to look for a different barb, or I may even look for a check valve with the 1/4 inch fittings instead of the 3/8. So this is what I came up with to install the check valve. And let's go ahead and put it back in the car. Okay, so we have our arrow with flow. We've got our first hose. We've already got our clamp installed. We're going to push it in all the way. Run that clamp down. Tighten her up. It's getting cold outside. It's getting dark too. I hope this doesn't have any leaks. We'll slip it through underneath this line and plug in the other side. All the way on. Pull the hose clamp up, and that's ugly. I do not like all those hose clamps. Willie, come on. I do not like that at all. Pull off the vice grips. Double check, make sure it's tight on this side. Yeah, I don't want to strip out those clamps. Hope I didn't damage those hoses by pinching them that long. Made it a little bit longer. I broke. I want to get some zip ties and kind of zip tie that up out of the way. I just broke my clamp that held the two hoses together right there. Oh well, that came with the engine. So I'm gonna get some zip tie it up, and we'll give it a try to start it. So there we go, it's installed. Got a couple zip ties holding it. We're gonna get it primed up and go ahead and start it up. It likes a couple shots of WD-40. Get it going. Especially after it's been sitting for a while. Hopefully that check valve will help with this problem. See if it'll start. Well, I guess it worked. You know, I don't have any leaks. It seemed to be pulling the fuel through. I let it run for a while to see if it was going to have enough pressure to open the check valve and pull the fuel from the filter all the way through. But yeah, it seemed to work so far. Now the big question will be will it work after it sits for a while? You know, is it going to start better in the morning? Will the pressure bleed off somehow? Is this pump have more problems than what I think it has? I don't know. We'll know if the prime drains back off and goes back. It should stop right there, that's for sure. Now if I have an error in the line after this, whether it be at this end or this side or back by the tank, if there's air, if there's a leak somewhere in that, a small one, then it'll allow the air pressure, it will allow the fuel to drain back to the tank. So that's always a possibility too. There could be an air gap somewhere here or down by the tank. There's another connection by the tank. So I need to double check those and make sure they're good and tight. There's no holes in the hoses. And I mean, all these hoses are fairly new. They're only a few years old. They shouldn't be damaged in a way that they might have an air leak or something. But I mean, it's a possibility. I did, when I cut this, I did notice that a black residue came out. That could be the diesel eating the hose. I don't know. That's something I need to check into. I mean, there could be tiny pinholes in the hose somewhere that's allowing the air to get in if the diesel's eating the hose. That's interesting to see that. I mean, this is all fuel grade hose. Should be rated for fuel. I don't understand why the diesel would be eating it up, but it is. There was definitely a black residue that came out of the hose when I cut it, and I'm assuming that's the diesel eating the hose. So another thing, if it continues to be a problem, I may have to go and look at getting new lines and replacing the fuel hoses. Well, so far that's a successful DIY Willy project. Give it a thumbs up, right, if you liked it. Leave it a comment if you've got some suggestions for me about my problem that I described to you. But yeah, seems to be good. We'll check it out in the morning, whether it's still holding the pressure or not. All right, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.